Hello everybody and welcome to St Luke's Church here in Salford. Tony's Songs from the Church. And I've got with me my good friend Mike Billington, who's going to do a song for us just now, and he's going to talk about his books. But let's just have a go at his song first. Go on. Introduce it. What is it? Who sung it? Who wrote it? I know. But go on.
This is a song called The Knocker Upper Man, written by Mike Canavan, who sadly is no longer with us. The Knocker Upper Man was the guy who went round with a pole, rapping on your windows to get you up in the morning so you're not late for the
Before
factory.
the days of alarm clocks.
Through cobble streets so cold and damp, the knocker upper man goes creeping, tap tapping all the window panes to wake the town from sleeping. And he said, hey thee up and sturdy so, the factory hooter's blowing so, get up from your nice warm bed, to work you must be going. Day in, day out, we hear about though snow and rain are falling. You'd hear his clogs along the street, you'd hear his voice calling. And he said, way thee up and sturdy so, the factory hooter's blowing so, get up from your nice warm bed, to work you must be going. Oh, the early rising working folk, the knocker-uppers call they heeded, but times go by, old customs die, now he's no longer needed. And no more, hey thee up and sturdy self, the factory hooter's blowing so, get up from your nice warm bed, to work you must be going. Streets of smart suburbia, the knocker-upper's ghost is creeping, tap tapping at the window panes to wake the town from sleeping. No more, hey thee up and sturdy self, the factory hooter's blowing so, get up from your nice warm bed, to work you must be going. To work you must be going, to work you must be going.
Excellent, excellent. I hope you like that song.
It's a lovely song.
A lovely song
Beautiful
by
song.
Mike Canavan. And my good friend here, Mike, is going to show us, talk about some of your books if you want, Mike. I think we have time.
Yes.
The service starts.
Well, I'm a local historian, and I'm currently working on my 7th book, which is very, very near to go into publication. I write about the Urnston, Flixton and Davy Hume area, which is where I'm from. They always say, write about what you know. So, but the humbling thing about writing local history is that the more you find out, the more you realise what you don't know. And that can be a very humbling experience. So, my first book was published by the well-known publisher, the History Press. They've got quite a massive repertoire of books on their roster. So that was like a general history book. I followed that up a few years later with a book called Urnston, Flixton and Davy Hume, a collection of antiques and curios. So this covers sort of lots of areas that maybe weren't appropriate to the first book, or just wasn't enough room to put in. The third book I did was probably the book I'm most proud of so far. It's a bit of a coffee table book, and it's called Urnston, Flixton and Davy Hume, a postcard heritage. So what that looks at is postcards, some over 100 years old, 120 years old, and I sort of found some postcards on eBay and other areas, and then I tried to find the location where the postcard was taken, and I tried to put my feet in the same footsteps as the original photographer, as I say, some of which was over 120 years old, which is quite a spooky feeling, I can tell you. So that's it's quite a thick book actually. It's 336 pages, so you get a lot of...
I thought I was going to say it's £336.
No, about half that. So, and then I did one. I did a book to do a book about them, Tony. I did a book about Simpson Ready Foods. Those of you who remember Goblin Meat Puddings will probably remember Simpson's factory. Willie Simpson, the last owner of Simpson Ready Foods, is a good friend of mine. In fact, we played in a band together for about 30 or 40 years actually, so I've known about Simpson Ready Foods for a long time. In fact, my mum worked there for a very short time. Okay, so Simpson Ready Foods. I then did a book that's become quite a good seller. It's about Park Hospital. Stonians still call it Park, not Trafford General. And it's about the history of Park Hospital, which I co-wrote with a retired surgeon. So I covered the history side, he covered all the medical side. And Park Hospital, of course, is the birthplace of the NHS, which is where the
I was going to ask you that question.
Yeah, well, it's where the NHS was launched. People say it's the first NHS hospital, which is actually strictly not true. Every hospital in the country was the first NHS hospital. It's just that it was Park that was chosen by the then Labour Health Minister, Aneurin Bevan, to visit and do the formal launch of the hospital. Then my last book was actually a book about Ernest Leonard Leaning, who was a civil engineer and architect, borough surveyor for the township of Urmston in the 1930s, 40s and 50s. He was quite a visionary. In fact, he put up signs that said, "Welcome to Urmston." The council told him to take them down because they were sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, Tony? They were distraction to drivers. Now you can't go into any town at all without it saying "Welcome to."
And all the other signs that are up as well.
Concrete. He worked in concrete. The book's called Ernest Leonard Leaning, Urmston's Concrete King. And he, as I say, his major material was concrete. Anyway, I've not just written about Urmston Flicks and Navy.
No, I was on here last week
Yeah.
as well, and I talked about this book.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. This is my favourite band of all time, Amazing Blondell.
Not me. No.
Which featured John Gladwin, the main songwriter, who died only a few months ago, sadly. Eddie Baird, who became a very, very close friend of mine, and he was a huge help in writing me, researching and then writing the book. Absolutely lovely bloke. He rang me nearly every day. He just liked to talk to people, I think. He lived in a little modest flat in Scunthorpe, and Blondell were actually on the guest list at the very, very first Glastonbury Festival. Yeah, the very first Glastonbury Festival zone. And it was £1 to get in, and you got free milk from the farmhouse.
Did you go to that gig?
No, I didn't actually. No. I'd have loved to. I'd have loved to, but I wouldn't go now. It just seems so big and impersonal. Anyway, Amazing Blondell. So Terry Wincott, the woodwind player, he is actually still alive. So there you are. Amazing Blondell, my very, very favourite band of all time. Beautiful, beautiful music. Do check it out on YouTube.
And apart from online, where can people purchase your books? I've
Yes.
seen some of them in the art gallery in Salford.
That's right. My books are available from Urmston Bookshop, which is in Urmston. Flixton Garden Centre, called Parker's. Available from Trafford Local Study Centre, which is housed in Sale Library. And also, as Tony just said, Salford Art Gallery. All are available from me online at www.eponarecords.com. Epona spelled E-P-O-N-A, eponarecords.com.
And that's your recording logo as well, or name.
Yes, I also have a record label called Epona Records, yeah. And Epona Publishing.
You've also produced quite a lot of music as well, haven't you?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 solo albums, 2 albums with Corvus as a duo, and an album with the band Rebecca. Rebecca actually, going back to the Amazing Blondell, were very, very much influenced by Blondell. In fact, when I sent the CD to John Gladwin, who was the songwriter with Blondell, he said, that's more Blondell than Blondell.
Wow.
I'm taking that as a compliment.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I don't know what he meant by that, but I'm taking it as a compliment.
And is this the first time you've sung in a church?
In this church, yeah. I have performed in churches before. I think I performed at the famous Inigo Jones Church in Covent Garden, called St Paul's.
We just had we've just had quite an epic thing here, because we were supposed to meet in the car park, and Mike was out at the front of the church, and the doors are closed at the front. We're facing them now where the steeple is. And I told him, he doesn't remember, come round the side. And he'd been here 20 minutes, and maybe we had to sit down, tune up, and I can hear noises at the back. The service is about to start, and we'll have to stop doing this. But it went well, it went really well. I enjoyed doing that with you again.
Me too, and I'm sorry about the mistake.
No, it's fine, it's wonderful. And this church, it's this area where we sat now, is going to be a communal area. just these last few pews at the back towards the steeple, I keep saying this, they're all going to be removed, and it's going to become a communal area for cafes. We're going to put toilets in, we're going to put a bar, not a bar, we've got a bar in the room and a place at the back.
Only communion wine available.
Communion wine's available, you can have some if you want in a minute. Yeah, it's a wonderful church.
It is lovely. In fact, I can just interject a second. I'm particularly keen on church because my forthcoming book is called The Churchyards and Cemeteries of St Flixton and Davey. So I've actually been looking at, you know, the churches of St Michael's and
I went round one of them with you a couple of weeks ago. In Patrickcroft, in Barton.
in Barton, that's right.
Yeah,
The churchyard. Yeah, the church is no longer there.
Very
The churchyard. Yeah, so it's been fascinating to. It's been probably this is going to be my most proudest book that I've written. It's been heartbreaking to write because of all the child mortality during the 19th century. I mean, I saw one grave in the Jewish cemetery in Urmson. You know the age of the child on the gravestone?
Yeah.
4 hours. A mere 4 hours, Tony.
Terrible. Yeah.
Scarlet fever, measles, diphtheria, all these just ripped through the child population in the 1800s, and as I say, it's been heartbreaking. I've been in tears over some of these graves, Tony.
And like I was saying, it's going to become a community area, this, and they want to get some money together just to make a start, to get the toilets in, first of all. It's a need, isn't it? And they need about £2 million to do the whole thing, and I think the money's there, but you have to do things first. It's like back getting a mortgage, you have to get a deposit together, don't you? You've got to show willing. And when they've done all of that, every church needs a new roof, doesn't it? Everybody knows that. And this one is not unlike any other church. It needs a new roof, but it also needs a lot of work doing on the inside. Yeah. It'll mean not being in the church for a long time because you have to have scaffolding, working at heights and everything. And hopefully the whole thing is going to be, it is beautiful anyway, but it's going to be brought back to its former beauty, and it's for the community. You know, it's for church, it's for the worship, etc. Yeah, but it's going to be part of the community for other things as well. It's going to be the home of From the Art of Salford.
They call it a communal hub.
Yeah, communal hub.
Churches historically.
You know, our exhibition From the Art of Salford is.
We're both artists, by the way.
That will be done from here.
Will it?
Yeah. I've already made a start on that. You know, yeah.
Learned something.
I'm hoping they're going to have theatre groups and all sorts of things like they have at other churches. So there's a lot going for the church and a lot going for the community, hopefully, through this church. But with that, we're going to have to get off now because I can hear voices in the background. I think the service is about to start.
Yeah, so support Tony's efforts because churches, if they're not used, they either get knocked down or they become other things like I've seen carpet warehouses, business centres, maybe turned into
the one in
mosques.
Hume, which is apartments.
Yeah, apartments. So you use them or lose them is the adage, I think.
And also, one last thing, I'm hoping to do a mini folk festival here.
Whoa.
At the back of the church, at the church hall. We've got a built-in room there, gardens outside. So I want to do a mini when I did the Art of Salford, it was a do-it-yourself at the Cornerstone. It was a do-it-yourself art exhibition where we all nailed our own work to the walls. This is going to be a do-it-yourself folk festival. Get people to turn up. We'll have raffle tickets. It'll be like an open mic type of thing, same sort of thing, but do it yourself. You know, we've even thinking about if you sing a song, you pay £1 for every song that you sing. It's a good idea, isn't it?
Well, you don't get paid £1 for it.
No, you have to pay. To be a part of this. And the more songs you sing, the more you have to pay. We'll see. But anyway, with that, we're going to have to get going now because we're going to go to the
Can I just say, Tony, thank you for inviting me down today. It's been a great
pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.